Hi everyone, I'm Joe LaGilia, and on today's episode of Not Your Average Joe, powered by Mortgage Message, we're talking with Tammy Barvian of Hazel Marie's in downtown Plainfield. Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of Not Your Average Joe, powered by Mortgage Message. My name is Joe LaGilia, and today I'm joined with our guest, Tammy Barvian of Hazel Marie's. Tammy, welcome to the show.
Hi Joe, thanks.
We are so excited to have you here today, and I just want to kick off the interview by saying you are taking time to celebrate with us on your 5-year anniversary of Hazel Marie. So just in case there's one person out there who doesn't know who Hazel Marie is, because this entire community does, give just a few seconds on who you are and what Hazel Marie's is.
Sure. So I'm Tammy Barvian, like you said, and my husband and I own Hazel Marie's, the ice cream store, downtown Plainfield, serving up sweet treats. And yes, today is our 5-year anniversary. I can't believe it's been 5 years.
It's unbelievable, 5 years, and I just want to start the interview off by, I was reflecting on this interview before you came here today, and there's a picture of my daughter Evelyn. I want to say she's 2, maybe 3, so this is going back 4 or 5 years. Right when you guys opened for the first time, there's a picture of her in front of the glass door holding her first scoop of ice cream from Hazel Marie's. And then just recently, she won the name game, and there was another picture of her. And I took those two pictures. I had them side by side. Maybe we'll throw them in this interview. And it just amazed me how fast it went by. I can't imagine how fast it's been for you.
So fast. And things like that are amazing because we see the little ones come in and, because we're only open 6 months and we close 6 months. And then 6 months goes by and we open April 1st. And it's like, oh, my gosh, they've grown so much. And then we see, 5 years now. Yeah. Evie and all the kids that come in, it's just amazing. And even our employees, we had employees that started with us that were 15 or 16, and now they walk in and they're, 21. I'm like, whoa, who are you? But in all that time, of course, it's us growing and being in business for 5 years too. So it's pretty cool.
Well, and we're going to get into that aspect of it because I think it's so crucial to talk about that growth. But I want to really start at the origin story and just ask you to share, Hazel Marie's the concept. When I moved here to downtown Plainfield 7 years ago, me, my neighbors, anyone that was connected just said, man, we would love if there was this really homegrown ice cream place that we could go to. And here comes the Barvians and they put this idea together. But I'd love for you to share the story of where did that idea come from?
How long is this interview?
Condensed version, I suppose, yeah.
So, and the story's on the wall, so anybody that comes in the shop can see. But, and for us, it's not really a story. It's just life, It's what it is. But grew up with ice cream was just a fun thing to do. Grandma and grandpa and cousins, like the ice cream shop that we used to go to, 50 plus years ago is still there. And so when we go home to Buffalo, we go to Dee Dee's for ice cream and. So the town that I grew up in Western New York is very, very much like Plainfield. Like the downtown area is almost identical. And my first job was in an ice cream shop, so I always wanted an ice cream store. And, the years went by and there was just, we always thought about it, but there's too many things to do and life gets in the way and, you have kids and who has time for that and where's the money coming from and all that. And so, probably about 7 years ago, my cousin that was like a sibling to me died suddenly at work at 49 and when we were all together for that funeral we were talking about Hazel Marie's because that was our grandmother and my aunt, my cousin's mom said, what are you talking about? And I said, my ice cream shop that I'm going to have someday. And it was in that very moment that I found out that he had the same dream and we just never had that conversation. And so on our way home, I said to my husband, he goes, oh, I know. And so then that dream just became more of, we just got to do this because, my cousin, he didn't go to work that day thinking, I'm not coming home, right? And so it was just like the time is right. The building was for sale. Plainfield was where we wanted to do it because we live in Plainfield. We love Plainfield. It's been our home for 30 years, and it just was missing an ice cream shop where, my nieces were in the year before and they're like, Aunt Tammy, let's go for ice cream. And I was like, where am I going to do that, Yeah. And we were at Village Green, playing on the playground. And so it just, all the stars aligned and it was just the right time and the building, and it just seemed the perfect concept. I always wanted it to be an old-fashioned, and it just fit right there. And
What a beautiful legacy, first of all, for your cousin. And again, as you said, anyone can walk into Hazel Marie's in downtown Plainfield, look at the wall, and hear this story in such great detail as you've shared today. And I got to give a shout out to my brother Ken Barvian for being supportive of this idea in that moment, because what a game changer that it was. And to this point of where I want to take this interview next, it's just wild to me that my son William, Chill Will, he believes that there is no word for ice cream. The word is Hazel Marie's. We were out of town, and he said, I want to go get Hazel Marie's. And my wife Candace said, oh, I'm sorry, Will, we're not in Plainfield. And he had this look of confusion, and it took us moments to realize he doesn't know the word ice cream. He just knows Hazel Marie. So compliments to you for branding. So we talk about community heroes, and you're here today because you were nominated from the community for what you do in this community. And I know so much of it being connected to you. But just kind of speak a little bit about the initiatives that you've been a part of for all the different non-for-profits, the schools, all the different initiatives that have come to you and said, hey, can we rally with you to create fundraising opportunities? Just kind of speak to that, because from my perspective, you are everywhere. I go to my daughter's school, District 202. You're there passing out ice cream. Just kind of speak to the community about kind of how that all came together and some of the organizations you're connected to.
well, I think it just evolves. I don't know. I don't consider myself a community hero. I just consider myself doing, we just do fun. We want to be part of the community. We want to be like Will's ice cream, right? But I have such fond memories as a child of all, and it just, ice cream is always a fun thing, right? You don't usually do ice cream because you're in an argument or whatever, walk in the door, right? So,
right.
So it revolves around fun and good times and family and friends. And so we're constantly evolving, but we want to always be part of all of those things. And so we think that it's important to give back to our community because Plainfield, we love Plainfield, right? And it's just, it does, if it wasn't for Plainfield and all of the people in Plainfield that come to our shop, we wouldn't have a shop. And so we just feel it's important to give back. A lot of these kids, like yours, for instance, are going to be our employees someday.
Absolutely.
And, it's just, every chance we get, we just want to give back. Like today being our birthday, it's like, well, what are we going to do? Well, let's do fun things so that it's a fun place. You don't have anything to do with kids today. Let's go to Hazel Marie's and get our face painted for free or, things like that. And we believe in, we wish we could give to all of the places that approach us, but, schools and kids, they're our future, right? That's where it is. So we try to just center around things that are children-oriented, school-oriented, and we're always, again, growing and constantly evolving. So, one little fundraiser the first year turned into, we do them every single Monday through Thursday in April and September. And those turned into, well, can you come to school and, sell for meet and greet? Sure. And then we give back, proceeds, 20% of those proceeds go back to the school. And so we're just always trying to, I'm sure you know about our Pledge of Allegiance. Like that to me is so far our coolest thing because
it's amazing. Every middle summer seeing it. It's beautiful.
Yeah. July, and it was, last year was our first year and we gave away 427 scoops of ice cream. And this year was our second year and we gave 540. Wow. And I hope someday we can sit here and talk about, we gave away 1,000, Yeah. But why did we do that? Because the kids learn the Pledge of Allegiance and they memorize it and they, it's just part of, we want that to be a community event that every July 1st, you go and get free ice cream at Hazel Marie's and things like that.
Well, it's been incredible for me to watch the journey. I got to be honest with you. And going from the first time I saw that pink flamingo out in front of the shop to all of a sudden there's this sprinkles car driving around town, to any given cruise nights, the line is around the block. It's become a staple in the community, and you've done it in such a short amount of time. And I think for me, thinking of the last 5 years, I can't imagine you having to catch your breath thinking of all of those milestones that have been met, the smiles that have been distributed. When we look at the future, however far you want to go. It could be the next 5 years, it could be the next month, it could be the the next decade. What are some of the things you see for Hazel Marie's moving forward?
The future. I just got to get through today. No. We just want to be what we are. We want to be. Do we want to grow? 5 years ago, this was going to be a little hobby of mine. My husband told me, well, this is good. You do this because you need a hobby, because he has lots of hobbies, right? And I'm like, okay, it's going to be a hobby. So that hobby turned into a full-time, 14 hours a day, 7 days a week. So I don't really know what 5 years from now looks like, but growing, just staying part of the community, just being more involved, and just being Hazel Marie's and just doing what we're doing and serving up smiles. And 5 years from now, Evie will almost be able to work there. And,
we're signing the work permit. Right? No worries, I promise you.
So, we went from, like you said, this little pink flamingo. Her name is Daisy, by the way.
Thank you.
So we have Daisy, and this little, open the door and, maybe we'll get some customers, to lines down the street 4 to 5 nights a week. And Sprinkles, this car that, I gotta love my husband because he's such a great guy, but, hey, we need Sprinkles. We need this car with this funny, what are we going to do with that? I don't know, but we just need it. Like, how cute will it be? And the kids love the car and the eyelashes. And so now we have a trailer, because Sprinkles wasn't big enough to handle the events that we're asked to do. And so I don't know what it looks like in 5 years, but I know that we're going to be here and with the support of the community, just be part of, Plainfield. And we love being a staple in Plainfield.
Well, I think it's a testimony to just walking in faith. Because as you've just said, that desire to just say, hey, let me do my best today to give back and to bring value to the community, that's gotten you here. So I agree with you. Don't change the formula. And I love what you talked about with Sprinkles, where we've had Sprinkles come out to my daughter's birthday, and to see the mad rush of the kids come out of the house, and they're around the car, they're looking at the car, taking pictures of the car. It's such a great thing for families to rent for parties. And not to mention the end of year event that you have with the auction. Just kind of touch on that a little bit with the ice cream.
Yeah, so a lot of this is we grow because we learn, right, as we're going. And so the first year, we were like, phew, we made it through. This is really cool, awesome. And then, September 30th at 10 o'clock, we locked the doors and put the sign in the front window, and we looked and we had 24 tubs of ice cream. And we're like, what are we going to do with all this ice cream? Like, we didn't think, come 10 o'clock at night on September 30th, you have 24 tubs of ice cream. What are you going to do with that? And so we started calling all our friends and like, hey, you want some ice cream? Like, come and get this ice cream. Like, So we said, okay, well, what are we going to do from this point forward? Like, we can't do that, So we just decided that we were just going to auction it off at the end of the year. People come in and they're like, what are you going to do with my favorite? This just got serious. Well, so now we can tell them, well, the last week of the season, we have an auction. And again, it's kind of an annual and people expect it. But the really cool thing, again, is the community raises all that money because they're the ones that bid on it. We give away, I think last year it was $1,200.
It's amazing.
The first year I think it was maybe, I don't know, $600 or something. And it grows and grows. And so over $1,000 goes back, and all of that stays in the community. We give that back. And it's just a fun thing to do. It gets all the ice cream out for us. But again, it's just this community giving back to this community, and we're just part of that. We're just there to, kind of be in the middle of it.
Absolutely. My kitty bang bang keeps getting outbid every single time I go get it. So whoever you are out there, I'm getting you this year. I'm getting the kitty bang bang.
I don't know. That bid might be, we've had bids for $200.
I believe
and there
it.
might be this much ice cream, but it's just the whole point that people know it's just going back to the community, and it's just a fun thing to do.
Such a beautiful
We have
initiative.
people like in the shop at 9:59, bidding on each other, and it's fun.
Absolutely. I got little kids. I'm putting them to bed. I got to get there at 10 o'clock. Tammy, it's such a cool initiative, and like I said, we are firm believers here at Not Your Average Joe that majority of community heroes don't look at themselves as a community hero. So respectfully, we'll say you are a real community hero, and we're thankful for all that you do for the community. And in closing of this interview, I want to ask you, who is your hero?
Well, I have a lot of heroes, but and for those that know me close, know that my husband is my hero. But My real hero was my mom. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just,
I had an amazing opportunity to meet her at the ribbon cutting of Hazel Marie's, and it's a beautiful picture. It's a beautiful moment in time. Just share a little bit about your mom, if you could.
Yeah, my mom was just, and some of you got to meet her because she worked at Hazel Marie's. That was going to be my hobby, and her retirement was going to be to scoop ice cream and hand out smiles, because that's all my mom did, was smile all the time. And so that's what she did. She handed out smiles all the time, and she was full of life, and she was awesome. And so that first year she was there, and she was doing it all, and we have a Sunday named after her because she helped with everything, and she lived for her kids. That was her purpose in life, was her kids and her grandkids, and so she was there and helped make that dream a reality. And unfortunately, she got called home, but that's my hero. And if I could just be like her, like so every day when I'm in the shop, because she used to work in the shop, and every single day I think, okay, just be like mom. Just do what mom did, because if you could be like mom, this place will always be full of love and laughter.
What a beautiful message, and what a beautiful testimony to a mother and a daughter's relationship.
Yeah.
Tammy, thank you so much for all that you've shared. Thank you for all that you do. Thank you to Ken. Thank you to the entire Hazel Marie's family. We are so grateful for you. And on behalf of my family and the families of so many in Plainfield, we expect you around for 100 years at least. And then we'll consider you guys moving on from there. But thank you for being here today.
Yeah, thanks, Joe.
Absolutely. And thank you to our Not Your Average Joe audience for tuning in. We look forward to seeing you guys next week. Take care.